Hi, it's day 3. Thinking about solitude, what I experience in solitude might be different than what other people experience, because in solitude I experience not being alone so much as being with myself. And I want to introduce that as a kind of a frame, a perspective to offer you, because being with oneself means doing that in a different way than how we think of it when we contrast that to being, say, in a group of people. There's been a lot of research in the last 30 years that sort of casts being with ourselves in a kind of a negative light, as if that point of view is a person who is isolated. So I wanted to introduce that idea because I thought right now it's especially important. We see people very, very concerned about people who live with themselves, as if that necessitates that we're isolated. And I'm not convinced that that always is the same thing. I think we can parse that more carefully. And for what I can share with you, what I can say is that it's possible to be with myself and not be isolated, in part because of my mindset and the way my heart is involved. In meditation, we have this amazing opportunity to jump into this field of the quantum, which is a field of energetic connection with all living things. That it's not even possible to feel isolated when we're in connection with all living things, because we're made of the same stuff. Um, in our bodies, there's more space in us than actual particle. Um, and therefore, all of what we experience is mutable and it's fluid from moment to moment to moment. And that's the possibility that exists within this opportunity to put the whole world kind of on hold, to be on a break. The the lockdown idea, but within this gift, this opportunity to be with the self, to be removed from the daily press of doing. It's as if, to me, um, it's as if Mother Nature kind of took and voted, you're all coming off the playground. I'm putting all of you down for a big nap. You're going to go down for a nap, and you're going to stay. You're going to stay down for a nap for a few days. You're just going to kind of cut it out, and you're going to stop this. You're going to stop this. And when we when we pull ourselves off the playground and we decide to go down for a nap, there are opportunities that we have within that to really choose to be with ourselves in a new way, and to choose to enter into meditation and into the quantum, in order to sense a bigger energy than just what's coursing in our own bodies, but a bigger energy that is what's coursing through all of life all of the time. It's true that we have a pandemic, and I made the ironic comment on day 1 that to Buddhists, that's a retreat, or to people with spiritual tradition of some kind, that's an opportunity to reflect. Um, and I'm not really kidding when I say that it's an opportunity, because so much of the time our main mode of functioning is distraction, overriding one level of stimulus inundation with another level. And it's partly why art has always become such a life-saving measure for me. There's a way in which when I turn off my brain and I let my hands do the exploration, that I enter into a different state of consciousness. I enter into a softer focus than a goal-oriented, sequential way of thinking. So I'm exercising literally a different part of my mind and my focused awareness. And I think that's especially useful right now when we don't have a time frame, or when the time frame on a certain experience, an external experience in the environment, is undetermined. And this happens in illness. For those of us who've ever experienced being very ill for prolonged periods of time, time changes because we're used to thinking chronological time on a clock. I'll do this, and then I'll do this, and then I'll do this. It's very sequential, and it's very useful in solving a certain set of problems. But it is not a universal paradigm for solving all sets of problems. At a certain point, when you've solved that set of problems, the paradigm begins to fail again because a new set of problems emerges from the old one. So the old one worked for a while, and then as things change, a new set of conditions present themselves, and then adaptation requires that we make a change and we adjust, to the new set of conditions. Part of what meditation offers us is the opportunity to respond in a way that is not driven by our external conditions, but to respond in a different way based on something that is a much bigger set of inputs, to feel our way into a different set of inputs and to understand what opportunities lie as we swim into that larger field of living consciousness. So with that, I'd like to introduce the idea of gratitude. How can we be thankful for a pandemic? How can we be thankful when illness and what seems like danger is present? Because I guess we can, because at any given moment there's no absolute safety. The notion that we could be hit by a truck crossing the street, or we could have an unexplained accident happen at any time. All these things are true. When we look at a large group of people going through something that's shared, it brings into our mind, the largeness of that. But really, it's the same choice in any moment. It's the same choice in any moment. And gratitude is a choice we can make regardless of how our body feels. As a person who's experienced a lot of physical pain, I know that it is possible. I take no medicine at all. I use meditation, and I use it because it's the most effective. It's not a statement of strength. If I have to have the experience of pain or of illness or of challenge as the little thing in the oyster that causes the irritation around which the pearl builds, the pearl I want to build is one of offering the least possible resistance and mobilizing as much as possible all of my energy towards creating beauty. out of that unexpected little kernel, you know. So those are my thoughts for today, and what I would offer you with encouragement to choose to be with yourself. We're all with ourselves apart together. So much love, and open the heart, open the mind, and see what happens in the spirit, because there are big things moving in the quantum now, and this is an opportunity for all of us. Okay? I'll see you tomorrow.